Hey, so you just watched my recent video on, well, TurfWars. It's a map that I released quite a few days ago, and, well, you saw my video Block Party, and there was an explanation at the end. Well, I wanted to make a separate video because um, the audio was kind of screwed up in the last video, and, well, I'm going to be trying to be more professional with this, so I'm going to be showing you how exactly I made TurfWars. To start off, you'll join in this super map. We're gonna go through everything in a very detailed sense, alright? I'm gonna be trying to be as detailed as possible, so that's why I made a separate video on this map. So for starters, you're gonna spawn in this world. Nothing can get past this unless you are in creative. This wall right here. This border down here, that is so if hackers actually get through. I have no idea what just fell there. It was a particle. But what's stopping you from jumping out are these border blocks. Border blocks, if you didn't know, anything that is in survival or adventure cannot pass this within the y-axis. So I can get on this perfectly, but if I were in survival or adventure, I would not be able to get through it. Enough of that. The settings that I have on are kill all items. I basically have this world to do nothing but function command blocks. Basically everything's off except show coordinates, natural regeneration, instant respawn, do daylight cycle, and the rest is, well, turned off. But if you're wondering how I made this pillar, it's actually a series of command blocks with an armor stand. So that armor stand is named Portal, so it cannot disappear. So, as you can see, the armor stand's standing in there in the center, and it says execute at E, tag equals portal, TP that. So, and this one right here, particles, and this one just gives the player a tag. So, to kind of sum it up, this armor stand will detect for the nearest player. And once it's given that tag to that player, which is called in-game, it's going to say, oh, there's a player named in-game in here. Let's send him through. And once you drop in, you get sent in, and your name gets added to the scoreboard. But here's where it gets even more confusing. You may be wondering, how does that even happen? How does your name get added to the scoreboard? How does anything happen? Well, if it wasn't obvious already, all the command blocks are in here. So let's go through that as well. This is going to detect whether or not there's a player with the tag in game in here. So it's going to look for it in a 70 block radius. And how it works right here, watch this. So every time, okay. And this right here is where it picks every single one of the player colors. So what that means is when this turns on, it's going to detect, oh, hey, there's a player in here. Let's give him a color, and that will give him the letter A. And make sure this right here, all these exclamation marks, this is going to make sure that if someone rejoins and they already have that tag, they cannot get a new one. This will make sure that everyone gets a different tag every single time. Now this over here is just if you want 8 people, you're going to have 2 on a team. This right here, make sure that the scoreboard is fitting well, and this right here, make sure that if someone actually leaves the game, well, it's gonna fix it with the player scoreboard. And right here is where we can find our displayed title, which you can see right here. And right here it says title at A, tag equals in-game action bar waiting for players. So what this does is whenever it sees that there are 4 players, so what this does is this redstone torch will keep this active for every 30 ticks, right? That's at least 3 seconds. And once it finally has found 4 players, the minimum, it's going to go through, it's going to turn off this redstone torch and turn on this action bar players found. It's going to do it through the title and action bar. And right over here, this is the pretty simple part. This is the countdown, so it's going to remove XP. This is going to detect, there's still players in here. Give XP, put everyone survival. This is going to make, this is the part where it's going to detect, are there players with 0 XP. So it's gonna send through, teleport everyone through here, and boom. Oh. And well, tag at S list. I have one tag called in game, so we're just gonna turn this on. Why is it not turning on? Why is it not turning on? And we're gonna be sent through. So what this does is teleports you here, right? But nothing's actually happening. No blocks are turning on. This is to make sure that there is no cheating. Absolutely. I can promise you. I've cheat proof, well, 80% of it. There's a few glitches with Bedrock, obviously. But, of course, if you try to do the single player, it's not going to work. Anything you try to do, if you try to summon in cows, maybe it'll work. Because I've set that so I can do some testing. And, well, over here, it's where it happens. This over here is just our scoreboard again. Test for at a, removes the scoreboard, gives the scoreboard, gets rid of the online player. And this right here, this teleports us back. This is for testing. This right here are our labeled wool. I have no idea what happened to yellow. This is going to detect, hey, there's one person in here, but you need 4. But what does this do? Basically, this just is the countdown, and this just makes sure that there are only people in here with 0 XP. And once it detects it, it's going to give you, once it detects it, it's going to give you 300 XP, which is a minimum of 5 minutes with the countdown. So, this is right here. This is the most simple contraption ever. Execute at A, tag equals A, fill, it just fills it, right? Basically what that's saying is, let's see, let's add myself to tag A, right? Let's do C. All right, I've now been a part of the C team, which, as you can guess, is blue. This will follow through, make everything blue under me, and well, if I add myself to, if I go ahead and remove C and then add B, I now have green. So with every single tag you have, I'll list the names right here below: A, B, C, and D. With every single tag you have, you will display that color under you. Now let's just turn it off before I end up breaking the map. Right here. It's going to go here, and it's going to, well, when the countdown's over, it's going to place a redstone block right here, run all the way through. This is just time, titles. This is empty because I want a placeholder right there, maybe for the future updates. Run through here, because this world's already glitchy now from how many command blocks have to be running. So I have to make a manual redstone. And down here, it's going to place a redstone block. This redstone block is actually going to be set here. Now, this is the most important part. I ask of you, for those who download this map, please do not kill at E. Do not. Why, you may ask? I turn this on, right? And, well, this is the only way that I can detect whether or not there are blocks above it. Each one of these is called sensor, and they're moving ahead slowly. There's only a blue patch over here, so it's going to detect that with a green. And right here, this is the second most important part. These are entities. I beg of you, do not kill these. I beg, do not. This is only for the safety of the map. So once it's stopped detecting, it's going to run through all the way through. It's going to give it a seg. Say, maybe there's a few falling blocks. Let's give it a bit more. And there's a cow right there. Of course, since there's a cow right there, green one, because green had more. So you're wondering, how does this happen? How does this contraption even work? This right here, this is all for each one of those armor stands. I cannot tell you how, when building this map, I was so mad because there were a bunch of armor stands there. I planned out everything. It was like, oh, well, you guys gotta check this. And apparently, Minecraft can't support that because I didn't go ahead and make sure they all had the right tag. So I had to add to each of them their own tag. So watch this. tag at E type equals armor underscore stand list. Every single one of those tags has been added to this. Every single one. Now you may be saying, why didn't you just make one for the all the armor stands in general? That can't detect that because it actually has to. So there are rows. Each armor stand has to go through finding each row, and the armor stands themselves, and if they're in a giant pack, one's going to be overlapping the other and cannot place a block as at the rate the other one is. So I had to make these giant machines over here, and let me tell you, just for warning for you Redstone, for you command block engineers out there, do not use structure blocks with your command blocks. It will get screwed up in the making. Structure blocks only save half your data because of the bug. So, as you can see right here, this has some info. We're going to hit Control and middle click. What this does is it gives you the data plus the info that's in it. So what that means is if you want to copy some command blocks, you're going to have to place them by hand, man. Or you're just gonna have to copy and paste into each command block, which takes even longer. So that itself, all this like right here, just this little machine right here, took 2 days because of how many bugs there were, and it was just so bad. So enough of that. Let's get back into this. What exactly does this do? This places a command. This basically makes the armor stands move a little bit, and then once it reaches the obsidian, which is the endpoint, it's going to teleport back 65 blocks. Right here is where I keep the player safe. This is going to kill all items. This is going to make sure that no one's hungry, and this is going to make sure that the armor stands don't have the tag in-game. I have no idea why they were receiving the tag, and, well, I just had to force a command block down because somehow the armor stands were retrieving the tag. But anyways of that, once that is finished, you'll notice that there's a current down here. It's going to run through, and right here, this is what turns that on. It just sets command blocks. It replaces all the wool like this. It replaces the wool and the backside of it with redstone blocks, and we're just going to set this back, and they're gone now. So make sure that's not turned on. Oh, God. And once again, the current's running here. But what does this current do? There are no and thanks for playing. So what does this do? This turns this command block, and this just says, and the winner is, for the thing. And this is the most confusing part. This is the part that actually matters the most. This right here is what detects what blocks or the highest count is. So as you noticed, it's going to detect the block, and as you noticed, there were falling blocks and concrete powder at the start. What does that mean? Each time when this is turned on, each time that a falling block comes through, this armor stand will detect it and add it, and it will run through here. This right here is what forces the armor stand to detect. And it will run through here. It'll summon whatever entity it beholds. So, and as that is falling down, it's going to kill each team color. Is going to kill the mobs until the last falling block detects it, and it just is counted as the last team point. So that is a lot of confusing things. I know it's a lot to take in. I have no other way to explain it, but as blocks fall, each of that other type of color is killed. I hope that makes sense. And if you want to know more, you're gonna have to check out here on my own map, or you can go to my Discord, which is displayed right here. Thank you. And well, once the countdown is finished, it's gonna detect. Oh well, let's take it in consideration. All right. Here, you know what? I'll make it a bit easier for your head. All right. So we summon a chicken, right? We've summoned a chicken. Let's grab a redstone block and let's turn this on. It says that a chicken is one because it says that yellow one because a chicken was here. So let's do a pig, right? And pig defines as red because that's what it's assigned to. Sheep, of course, is blue, and as you can probably guess, cow green. And yeah. Now I try to be as detailed as I can, and it's a bit confusing, but if you run it through your head a bit, it'll eventually make sense. And over here, these are just command blocks right under these with a few telras. You know, here's my Discord, here's my YouTube channel, and here's a site to MCPDL. Right here is the book. Where's the info? And then, yeah, that's it. I hope this helped all you map makers, all of you just wondering how in general I made this. This took hours to make, and I'm just proud that, you know, it's able to get released. I want to big thanks. I have a big thanks to MCPDL. They let me post my maps on there. There you can check out add-ons, maps, scripts, and even texture packs. It's completely free. The site is completely free. They even have their own app, Twitter. Make sure you go check them out. I'll put them in the description. And yeah, thank you all for watching. My name is Mark. See ya.